watching on the Triathlon RaceDay, the IRONMAN Pro Series pre-race show. I'm Connor Bollinger. Today we're teleporting to State College, Pennsylvania for the 7th stop of the 2026 IRONMAN Pro Series. Before we get into it, if you're enjoying the show, make sure to like and subscribe. That helps us tremendously as we appreciate everyone who drops a comment. Now let's bring in today's panel. Joining us is Olympian bend canoe IRONMAN 70.3 champion Justin Metzler, pro triathlete, doctor of physical therapy Evan Price, and finally, please welcome our resident guru, Blake Pfeiffer. Gentlemen, race 7 of 17 is here. Let's get to the standings real quick. Actually, you know what? It's been a hell of a week for us here at Triathlon RaceDay. Let's punt it to the next episode. Let's see what's at stake at 70.3 Happy Valley. We got 3 70.3 world slots up for grabs. 75K prize purse at 37.5 per gender, 3.5K points up for grabs. Once again, it's a gold tier race, whatever that's worth, pays 10 deep. Blake, what do we got for the course here at State College? Let's run through it real quick.
Big shout out to Mark Romano. He raced this as an amateur 2 or 3 years ago, the first year it even took place. So these are some of his takes on the course. Swim is an honest lake swim, probably not wetsuit legal. It wasn't even wetsuit legal for the age groupers when he did it. Bike course speed, incredibly wind dependent. Fast day, if you want a fast day, you want a headwind towards Lock Haven, which is a slight downhill. It's about 10 miles, it's the first 10 miles, tailwind on the way back. And then skipping to the run into State College, you have a slight uphill out of transition, then straight out and back to the Nittany line and back. Like a little downhill through Bigler Road, and you go to the far end of campus over a pretty sweet bridge, and finish line is right next to the stadium. Pretty sweet course.
Has anyone raced this race?
No, there's been no professional men's race there. The women have raced, have asked around a little bit. I hear the course, Justin, I think your wife took the honors last year, Jeannie Metzler. So talking with Justin, I hear
Lydia.
She was third last year.
It was Lydia, Chelsea, Jeannie.
Yeah, I will say it sounds a little bit reminiscent of St. George, except for one thing is I feel like this has been a long time coming. If we don't have a wetsuit swim at the North American Champs, it's been dominated by St. George for so many years. Every so often, you get a random North American Championships like a Chattanooga.
What does North American Champs even mean anymore?
It means that there's more prize money on the stake, more bragging rights, and the Europeans are all dodging this race because it is basically a North American showdown. And I think that a non-wetsuit swim, I've been checking water temps, there's a Facebook page and people have been saying it's about 72 to 75 degrees in the shallows.
Ooh,
who knows how deep Ironman is going to actually measure this. I think for the pros, we are potentially leaning towards a non-wetsuit swim, which I think will make just an incredibly exciting race because the gaps will be bigger. We've got some guys who are swimming out of their skin, some of the women too. I've been swimming with Julie Dibbins' crew. So I just think like to start off with you can't win it in the swim, but you sure as heck can lose it in the swim is just going to make automatically going into a hard bike course and a really twisty, turny run course, some really exciting racing going on.
So I was going to talk about the bike course as Canute is saying that too. This has over 3,000 feet of elevation gain. So this is, I don't know off the top of my head what St. George had, but I'm not sure if like St. George was.
It was like 3.5 to 4K in St. George.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So very, very. This is actually a very comparable race then to St. George in that sense.
Okay.
Outside that the run course in St. George is obviously much harder. But
I'll piggyback off that, Evan. And Jeannie, when she came back from the race last year, she said it was harder than St. George in terms of the steep gradient of the climbs.
Very
pitchy, very fast and very slow. Also last year they had pouring rain the entire bike, and she said it was just very, very sketchy. So there wasn't a high opportunity for a lot of girls went down. Wasn't a high opportunity for people to make separation on the uphills, but the downhills was where it was made. So I'm not sure if we're seeing rain in the forecast, but if there is any moisture on the road, could be an impact in terms of how it's
quick weatherman. Quick weatherman here is this is Pennsylvania. I'm from Ohio, so I know 7 days out for any weather in this part of the country. Yeah, good luck. They're guessing at this point. Thunderstorms though on and off all week. Saturday's the only sunny day as of right now, but Sunday looks like 30% chance of thunderstorms. It's going to be very humid on and off. because basically the Midwest works. You get dumped on with rain, and then right afterwards, it's huge humidity spikes. So
what is that? The Allegheny Valley there. I mean, that
You
weather
got it.
might change on the day, but it's going to
Appalachian
be
country, man.
muggy. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to be muggy and
It
humid.
will be
It's just
muggy.
that time of year.
And with
Yep,
the
and
rain,
it could
I'll
be
say with the
heavy
rain
too. Heavy.
Yeah, and what happened last year, I think, is the reservoir did get up over wetsuit legal, and then they got a bunch of rain, and that cooled off. It's a
Pulls
very
it down.
shallow reservoir, so with it being in the 80s this week, I think we're going to continue to see the temperature climb in the reservoir. But if you do get one of those rainstorms that really dumps down, all of a sudden, then it could switch. So I'm not going to be
Looks
the
like
guy to say
3
leave your
days.
wetsuit at home, but it is always bring both for a race like
3
this.
days of rain in a row could drop that temperature. Yeah, but we'll see.
I'm getting sick of
who's
all this
doing the
work.
rain?
Yeah,
Yeah,
guys,
you're doing the list.
I
what
wanna
are we
talk
doing
about
here?
this.
I'm looking at this
comment
power.
page here with the water temps. Come on.
Yeah, I'm looking at this start list, these power rankings. Let's kick it to our sponsor and jump right into it.
This episode is brought to you by Grindstone Collection Strategies, because podiums are cool, but direct deposits are better. If your prize money goes MIA or a race organizer is ghosting you, Grindstone is here to chase it down. They specialize in getting businesses paid, and if you're a pro triathlete, they'll do it for free. Zero fees, zero nonsense, just results. Go to grindstonecollections.com, fill out the contact form, and don't forget to tell them that your friends at On Your Left sent you, because nothing says I'm serious about my money like sending in Grindstone.
Let's get into a power ranking. 70.3 Happy Valley. We have, I think it's 24 men in here, a couple late last minute drop offs. So we added Luke Jones, Matt Kerr. Who wants to kick it off? Who is a tier 1 for this race?
Ben.
Are you saying that I'm a tier 1? Or are you kicking it to me?
Let's give Ben an opportunity to
Let's hear
argue
it,
why
Ben.
he's a tier 1. Let's just kick it to the man
Yeah.
and kick us off, Mr. Canute.
Because I'm in the race from the start. I'm not chasing down anybody. I'm in the front pack. We got Marquardt coming in, who's a super strong biker. We're going to have a strong front pack. And if you aren't in that front pack, it is going to be hard to be a part of this race. So anybody who's up there deserves a tier 1 or a tier 2, especially if you've had some solid race results in the past in big races. And I'm sorry, how many other guys on this start list have 2 seconds at a 70.3 world champs? You're not going to find me not backing myself in this race. So anybody else can come and fight me, but if you're not believing in yourself that you can take the win, get off the start list. I don't know what you're doing here. It's the North American champs. Like, let's go.
I believe in Ben.
Ben's tier 1 in this race.
Can I throw
Ben
out
is tier
Jason
1.
West too? I'm high on
That's
Jason
a good
West
one.
right now.
I am very high on
West
Jason
is
West as
dangerous.
well.
Very
His
high.
race
Blake,
2 days ago was unreal.
hit it, Blake, because I want to piggyback off on some Jason West talk here, and I got some reasonings why. But you go first.
Well, first of all, he's an
SF.
alumni. I mean, we
Yes,
are, right?
facts.
Like, come on.
Yep.
You can't hate on that. And I thought he raced really, really well in San Francisco 2 days ago. Like, he just looked really strong out there. He was running down Morgan. Like, I don't want to speak out of my skin here, but I think that was one of his better T100 results in general.
Mhm.
And it was a pretty
he's
deep
gotten-
race where the bike was
He's
blown
won
apart.
a PTO race, but not a technically
Yes,
a T100 race.
Yeah, and
Well, and
he was like
Yeah.
second in
So-
Singapore. He's been on the podium of a T100
Yeah.
before.
This is-
but-
Fifth
he
at
was second in
Oceanside?
Singapore, yes.
Fifth at
I'm-
Oceanside?
Yeah.
I'm going to toss
Oceanside, yeah.
if we're talking about Jason, we got to talk about Morgan. And then there's a couple other guys, because Morgan is also a tier 1 guy. He's
Yeah,
probably
absolutely.
the guy to beat in this race.
I think he's the
between-
favorite.
Yeah, he probably is
Morgan.
the favorite. But there's a couple
Favorite might be a
caveats
stretch.
here.
yeah,
The first one is
that's a bit of a hot
everybody who raced
I know what the
T100 San
caveat is.
Francisco is coming over cross country. You raced the weekend before. We've seen people try and
Coast
do the
time.
double. There are guys who can do it. And Jason, Morgan, like some of these guys, they just get warmed up the weekend before. But I'm just going to go back to lower level 70.3s, Gulf Coast, Chattanooga, not the North American champs. Sam Long struggled to go back to back there. Different situation, different type of travel. However,
Sam Long
backing
went back
up
to
is
Tucson.
tough.
Sam went back
Yeah.
to Tucson that week?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he did.
Ooh, that's tough.
That
traveled
was the
post-race,
toughest part
which
of
was
that travel.
a bit silly.
that's the same travel. It's coast to coast travel, though. Like it's the same thing, essentially, maybe one flight less. But what I'm saying is if you go into a race where you're 95% instead of 100, those last few miles on the run, are you kicking it into high gear or are you struggling a little bit? So I'm never going to doubt my competitors and think, oh, they're out of the race because they raced the weekend before. However, you can't tell me that a T100 race or any race the weekend before doesn't take a little more out of you than just a normal training weekend.
Just for their defense, like Justin, this is his home race and he's doing one thing of travel. Morgan's going home between to New Jersey. Like, I don't think it's going to be as strenuous as maybe you think.
It's also the argument of you're racing the weekend before. Like that Rico tore that bike course apart, and it's not like those guys were phoning it in. Like a 4th and 5th place is a very solid result at T100.
You also have to consider, for Jason and Morgan, there's an altitude component to this because they fly to San Francisco 2 days before the race. That's Friday. They're in Happy Valley 8-9 days after coming down from altitude. Some people can thrive off of that. Some people really feel it and start to feel pretty crappy a week out. So be interesting to see with those guys. I like timing a bit better for the altitude drop for guys like Hansen, Osborne, Dubrick, but we'll get there.
Hansen was just in Omaha.
Go ahead, Bob.
Well, Ben, do you want that on record? What Morgan said about the lead?
All right. Well, I'm just going to go in. We at the Julie Dibbins swim crew, trash talk and giving each other hard times is just down to it. And I'm going to put this on blast too. I don't know if they want me doing this or not, but Morgan and Jenna have a little bit of a bet going on as well. Jenna Campbell is another pro who's racing in the women's race. Exceptional swimmer, beats out us every so often, especially on sprint sets. But they have a bet going on who can go a little bit further, like who can be up higher in the swim versus the other one in relation to who comes out of the water first. Morgan has, I won't go the full quote, but he has called out a few of the slower swimmers wanting over a certain amount of time. We're looking at 5 minutes. If it's a non-wetsuit swim, I've been swimming with Morgan. I've been beating Morgan in the pool. I know that Tom Gordon is in here and he's a fast swimmer. We got a strong front swim
Streaky
group.
Ben. We got a streaky Ben, Metzler.
Ben, tell us right,
Guys, if it's non-wetsuit swim, it's gonna be a dog fight. Like that just sets the tone.
Who's coming out with you, Ben? I'm going to throw it. I think it's Morgan, Tom. I'm glad you mentioned Gordon. Gordon will be there with you.
He's not in here.
Maddox.
No, Maddox will not make the front. No. False. I don't think so. No. False.
Guys, here,
I'm
going to
give you some swim chat.
Guys, if you're not swimming,
hold up.
If you're not swimming 106 to 108 long course meters off of a 120 send off, cruising just strong, you're not making the front pack. Or you're
doing that with you. Maddox is going to do that.
The level of swimming, Maddox is probably pretty similar to me, Andre, Rudy. We are 4 to 5 seconds off. Canute, Morgan, Dubrick, Apo can potentially make it. Guys like Osborne, Maddox, McGoey. McGoey might make it, but maybe not.
And you're looking at it from up here,
Okay,
I'm going.
Hold on.
It's different when you're in there.
The speed, these guys are at a totally different level, and the takeout is going to be a totally different level. So I think front pack lock is going to be Morgan, Dubrick, Canute, Gordon. Those are my only 4 front pack lockers.
I think Maddox is I think Maddox is in that
I will
group
bet you
$100 changed.
I will bet you $100.
Oh, I want to take this actually.
That Maddox
maybe
does
not
not swim.
Oh no, 20
with Tom Gordon.
Okay, guys,
I'm
can we just
talking about
settle this debate right here? No,
Yeah.
We're going back to Augusta last year. Non-wetsuit swim, downriver swim. I let out of the water with one other dude. Maddox was there. Apple was there. A bunch of other guys were there. I put in a move. Yeah. I got 1 minute in a 16-minute swim.
That's a pretty big minute.
Like that's if it's done correctly, the people who Metzler said, those should be the ones who are a lock-in for a lead pack swim. Wetsuit changes it for sure. Wetsuit adds to the pack and makes it harder to split up. But if it is actually on, and then it also takes into account, guys might not push because we know that the bike is going to be super hard. However, if it's done well, there is a split that can happen there because this is a reservoir swim. There's no current, nothing like that. Nothing. It's going to be straight up. So if you look at some of the history of this, the split, it's going to be like 4 to 7 guys max, in my opinion, coming out. And you could throw in Marquardt in there, depending on how he's going. He has traditionally swam fairly well, or he's within reach.
Where are we putting
Maddox is
Marquardt?
one of those guys.
We got to
Yeah, I was
chuck
gonna
some
say,
power
before-
rankings
before
out
we
here.
get
Get this train moving.
Before we start
gotta get
mentioning
some
swim
rolling.
temperatures again, let's
Big
somebody,
tangent
You let Ben
episode.
go off on the swim here, which I love. This is the best
Ben wanted
content.
to
This
bring
is
us
Ben
back
going
to
off
the
on the
swim.
swim.
We just got
How
out.
often do we get a non-wetsuit swim in North America
You
where
know
it's
what?
not
would've
everybody
called
floating
Greg.
down
I
a
would've
river?
called Greg.
Like we have
I'm-
75-degree temps
I'm
in
gonna
rivers
go
and we're
back-
putting on wetsuits. I'm tired
I'm
of
going to
it.
go back
Get a real
at you here,
swim.
Ben. Ben, I'm going to go
Oh,
back at you, though.
God.
Non-wetsuit or non-wetsuit. You can clip this and be as mad as you want. Not that big of an impact on this race. This bike is too hard.
all right.
This bike
Stop.
is too hard.
Stop.
Swim doesn't
Stop it.
matter.
Stop.
Swim's
Just
garbage in this race.
Everyone,
Matthew
move.
It's
We're
gonna be
setting the
hot,
table.
Talk about
humid.
him.
By the
No.
time you hit the
Okay,
run,
the
the
swim-
strong swimmers
apparently-
better be able to run.
Apparently, the
shut
swim
up.
didn't matter in Texas either.
Please.
The swim didn't matter in Texas, but there were still big gaps, and you guys still got left
All right.
behind. It
Can
does
I
not
get us
matter.
back on
Marquardt.
track here?
Marquardt,
Can I please
tier
get us
2.
back on track? Can we start talking about Sam Long for a minute?
No.
Because
Yeah.
Yes. Marquardt.
we're talking about Morgan Pearson being a favorite for this race. Morgan Pearson's won 170.3. I appreciate he's a
Undefeated.
dog. Sam
Undefeated.
Long's won 25 70.3s. He's
Sam
won the North
Long is a
American
champion.
Championship
Is Sam Long
10 times.
undefeated?
This guy is the favorite for the race. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
So
Thank
I had
you.
to go back to
Thank you, Mets, for
2020.
talking some
So
sense into
the
this.
last time Sam Long had a 4th place was 2023. I'm pretty sure, outside of an Ironman in a
But
70.3.
he's carrying an
didn't-
0-1 going into
I'm
this
sorry,
race.
but what happened to Oceanside? Wasn't he
Oh,
just
sorry.
fourth
He had
place
2
there?
fourth places
He's
this
so
year. That's
close
it.
to
That's the
Oceanside.
fact check.
Come on.
You're right.
Okay,
Also,
here's
didn't
what-
he just get a 4th place in Chattanooga?
But that's what I'm saying. This is the only year since 2023. That's how dominant he's been. I'm saying. So to Betts'
Oh yeah,
point,
no,
he should
that's-
be a
yeah,
favorite.
but I'm just saying. But has triathlon not evolved? I'm not going to hate on Sam Long. Sam Long has ridden me down in tons of races. I come off the bike with him. He has outran me. He is a very good competitor. My question is, has his swim evolved to the point?
This one
it all
won't even
comes back
matter
down to
on this
gaps.
course.
It comes
It doesn't
back
even
down to
matter.
gaps.
It could be
Chattanooga.
5
Evan,
minutes.
it does matter. It does matter because you can't ride 5 minutes into Morgan, Marquardt, like myself, Justin Rielli. How many guys at the front? It
This
does not matter how hard
course
the bike is.
This course has pitchy climbs. You guys all have to be pushing watts. You might still come off the bike ahead of Sam. I will say, you there's a good chance you will.
We can't
If
push
it's
watts.
non-wetsuit, you guys can, but the group dynamics don't mean the same that they do in Texas. Everybody's
Dude,
got a
flat
bike
for the
hard.
first 20
That's-
Everybody,
Go.
If Sam Long comes off the bike behind Canute, I do not see Sam outrunning somebody like Ben, somebody like Dubrick, somebody like Pearson. Sam's getting off this podium. I think we're getting into the nuance a little bit too heavily here in terms of swim deficits and whatever. I think we have to think a little bit more globally. What do I like about Sam Long? What I like about him is he's a freaking champion. He wins North American championships. He wins a lot of 70.3s. What I don't like is, similarly to a lot of these top level athletes, you need momentum, you need streak. He's off of this Chattanooga double, which didn't go super well. He's in Tucson where it's starting to get 115 degrees. His kid's not sleeping at
That's
night.
fair.
I'm not liking those things. Those are stacking
That's
against him. I think if he comes off the bike at the front of the race, he wins the race. If Ben and all of his compatriots can get their heads together and work together and ensure that people like Foley, Sam Long don't make it to the front, they have a chance at winning the race.
And well, the last thing too, other 2 guys in tier 1, like even if you push me to the side, you got Morgan and Jason. If they're within 2 minutes of anybody off, they are super dangerous and not necessarily a lock for the win, but they are super dangerous. They could run, 66, 67 for a half. Most of the other people on this start list are anywhere from 68 to 72 for a half marathon. So that makes them automatically, their whole game plan is probably to just get as close to the front off the bike as possible versus anybody from behind. And, Trevor Foley is somebody who's the same way, who's going to be working with the swim deficit, bike super hard to catch the front, try and get ahead of Jason and Morgan, and then also run fast.
Fun
Do we have
fact.
any evidence? Oh, go ahead. Do we have any evidence that Trevor Foley should not be a tier 1? I think the
He
only
needs
race
to
he
be
did
tier
between
1.
New Zealand and
Trevor Foley needs to be
now
tier 1.
would be St.
he's a
Anthony's,
tier
which who
1
freaking
dude.
cares about St. Anthony's?
To Ben's comment, I don't think Trevor has run faster than a 1:10:45 in a 70.3.
You're right.
Here's Trevor's problem, and that's what Sam has perfected. Sam has perfected the ability to ride 370 watts and run a 110
Yeah.
or faster. Trevor has to ride the same watts, and he makes his way to the front, but it
Guys-
takes more out of him.
Guys,
So
I'm gonna I'm going to say why this is a biker's race here. Hear me out here, Ben, before you
So
go
hold
down
on,
my
hold
throat
on,
here.
hold on.
Hold on. No. I'm finishing this
global
thought
talk.
because
Come
because
on.
this is now going to put a ton of the rankings up. Just in San Francisco, Rico Bogan is comparable to a Sam Long. They are on that same level of riding. I don't think Trevor Foley's that far off of it. Rico threw down a 155. Do you want to know what Morgan Pearson rode? 203.
Yeah.
So you know what? If that gap's going to be 5 minutes at most, that's still 3 minutes going into transition. Sam Long runs a 110. Morgan Pearson, he's running a 107 to win that, guys. This is a bike runner's game.
Now, the San Francisco course is so different. Have you been to San Francisco before?
I know that was a wild course. No, I have not.
Excuse me, who else on this call
this
has
is
done well in
3,000 feet of elevation gain.
I know,
this is
Rico,
3,000 feet of
Rico
feet climb.
Anyone else?
Rico to anybody else is absolutely wild because you
Sam
know
Long
that
is not that far off that.
Guys, I'm this close from using the mute button. I'm this close.
Don't
do it,
mute
Bobby.
me.
Sam Long went off the
Long
front
is
of
an
Oceanside
incredible-
like it was a game.
Because
That's-
I
look
rode
how he ran.
290 watts in Oceanside. I rode barely any watts in that pack. Sam Long I've heard his power was somewhere around 350 or so for that Gulf Coast race. Awesome power, incredible power. Lionel Sanders pushes more power than that. Rico Bogan, I guarantee his normalized power.
He does push more power than that. He absolutely does.
For San Francisco, over 400. So to compare those guys, bigger, like he might be bigger. We're not talking necessarily about watts per kilo, but I'm just saying Rico is like comparing like an Alex Yee to like, oh, hey, yeah, some of these other guys like who can run fast.
That's
it's
a
like
stretch.
Alex Yee ran a 207, 204 marathon, something like that. So my rant is over. I'll mute myself.
Okay.
Let's talk about
I
it
like
tier
that.
2. Can we get
I
some?
like that,
Okay,
Rick.
I think
Yeah,
let's
we need to
get
start filling
into
these in.
let's get into it. I think we're in agreement that we have a Trevor Foley tier 1. Chuck Trevor up there. Do we not think
Trevor
Trevor's
Foley
tier
is
1?
terrible. That
I
was
thought
a-
we had agreement.
No. Tier 2.
I thought we had agreement.
Foley
I
tier
see
1.
Trevor getting on the podium of this race. I
Trevor
really
tier
do.
1.
Guys,
Evan's got to agree with me.
He's won races, and if you're throwing Trevor up there, he's won 70.3s. You got to throw Apple up there.
That's what we get. Okay.
Respect to the results because
Dang,
I don't.
this
Wait,
tier
I'm
1 is
with Blake.
getting
No, it's getting too
That is
crowded.
crazy.
Apple and Foley
That
go
is
down.
crazy.
It's not.
Apple was
it's not necessarily
14th
crazy
here.
because
He was 14th here.
it's
Where do you
not
draw the line? Because
necessarily-
Hansen's tier 1 if Appo's tier 1.
Exactly.
That's
this
what
is
I
all
mean.
clear tier 2-ish.
So we gotta. That's
Tier
the
2 is
separation.
very crowded.
Foley down.
All right,
Foley down.
I'm okay with Foley
Foley.
coming down because here's the problem with Foley is we're going to get one of two Foleys and there's a 50-50 shot he does not finish the race.
The tale of two
50%
Foleys.
shot he's on the podium, 50% shot he doesn't finish the race. The inconsistency's too high. At least with Sam Long, Jason West, Canute, we know these guys are going to finish the race hell or high water. So these guys are either getting on the podium, coming 5th, winning the race, whatever. Trevor, too inconsistent. Hansen, I'm worried about the bike.
That's tough.
I think this bike's going to be really,
I
really
think the bike's
tough.
too hard. Yeah.
I think
Is Hansen 3?
can we just put we need like a runner watch column here because we've now the strategy is like you have tale of three people. You've got people like Canute who are going to attack it from the front. You've got folks like Sam Long and Trevor who are going to be coming from behind. And then you got people who you don't even think about all day. Jason West, Hansen, Randall, who you don't even think about until it's like, whoop, they're 5th. Or whoop, they're 3rd. You know what I mean? So, like, who are those folks who are going to be running through this field with people blowing up from a hard bike, humid conditions, whatever?
Mets,
I think
you
that's
train and know you. Canute and Mets, you both know Hansen well. How will he ride a pitchy? Like his watts per kilo were great, I'm sure, but like, how will he ride a pitchy course? Does Hansen ride descents well? Does he ride pitchy climbs well?
Physiologically, he's suited to a pitchy, high power, spiky type of course that will suit him. He's not the strongest or most comfortable descender that I've ridden with. I think if it's technical or if it's wet, he's going to struggle a little bit with that. He's improved a ton in terms of his technical
That's going to matter
ability.
here, I think, too. More than like a just raw watts per kilo rider is actually how do you ride something like this?
100%. And you look like somebody like Sam. He is a tactician descender. You look at somebody like
descender.
Foley,
He's an
phenomenal descender,
Yes.
right? Appo, exceptional speed
Justin
guy.
Reale is one of the best I've seen on a descent as well, honestly.
Right.
In the TT position. Rides it very
So,
well.
I mean, like that's the technical nature of the descents is going to, this course is going to reward a good bike rider and somebody who's got good power.
Okay, so with this tier 2, kind of in place. I feel like we have to put a Dubrick in here, but
Dubrick
there's
needs
the
to be in
question
there,
mark.
100%.
Just spin
Yes.
it.
Yep.
Okay.
100%.
Also, a guy who just his bike ability, just year by year,
Yeah.
Mark Dubrick's biking has continued to just incrementally increase, and just recently it showed that his run's back. Because I would have
so I was
criticized
gonna say, he's
before
been
and been
injured
like,
for
I
a
don't know
while,
if his
and
run's back, and now his run's back. So
well, he's been hammering the bike volume all winter, right?
oh my god, yeah. And then whenever he was injured on the run, he was just knocking out 20-hour bike
Yeah,
rips
with
like it was
the
nothing.
basically no swim in Gulf Coast, he was still third behind
Yep.
Sam and Seth. Like, I think that was a really
Exactly.
good result.
So he's absolutely in there.
Yeah,
All right,
a
who else we
111 and a
got?
110 were his last two runs.
Do we see a Real in there? Do we see
This
anybody
is
else?
No,
Man.
not a tier 2. You cannot
Oh.
with a Justin. I want to, and I'm a huge Justin fan. I'm
he's
like the
close.
biggest
He's
Justin
He's
fan.
close.
He's right there, but I see Justin. He's going to be 6 through 12 here. He's not bumping into that top 5. I just do
The
not think he's
only-
going to have the durability.
The main reason I agree with you, Mets, is actually because of Ben. Because Ben's going to push this. You guys are going to push the swim, and I don't think Justin makes that swim group only because he missed it in SF, and I don't think he's comfortable post injury with his stroke yet. I don't think his stroke is back to what it was, and it will get there, but I think he needs like another 6-7 months of like PT and swim work.
Yeah, he's
before
just
he's
a little on
back
the
in that
struggle
front group.
bus on the
Yeah,
run. it
I think
looked
also like you got to think
But his
about,
biking was no joke. He pushed 345 normalized in SF. So his biking right now
He
is
was
getting
raring
there.
those
But
bunny
again,
That's
hops,
as
we're starting to get weeded down in what people pushed. And granted, I pulled that same thing, but it's how fast you're
Ben
going.
just yelled at me over
it's-
that. You're right.
Yeah, but it's but
Justin
it's how
goes
fast
fast.
you're
Though.
going.
He does for the power.
But what
Justin
I would,
goes
but
very
you just
fast for
brought
his
up
power.
Rico. I mean, Morgan, what was his bike in comparison to Justin? Because you
To
just said he
Justin's?
was
That's right.
moving.
Justin
I have
bridged
it
up
right
to his
here.
group.
Yeah, Justin bridged up to him. Justin rode 202.03 and Morgan rode 203.22.
Yeah,
so
like
it's a
they
minute.
rode the last
So it's
like
a
maybe
minute.
lap and a
Can I
half.
say
in
something
that.
crazy?
So you can't
So-
put
Yeah.
Justin on
Do
this
it.
high podium
Go Mets.
versus Morgan, who's
Go
like
Mets.
there.
Is there a world where Marquardt wins the race?
Yes.
No.
Is there a world?
There's no.
There is.
Yes, there
where
is.
Yeah,
And,
Yes,
and-
guys, there is 100% a chance
There's a
where
world.
Marquardt wins the race because he is the one who pushes insane watts without a care in the
Right.
world, and then he'll run a 112. But
Think
it'll
about how
be
here's
many
what I
videos he
see.
can make if he
Here's
runs,
what I
like-
see a
Wait, get his
possibility
stat.
happening.
70.3.
Marquardt?
He's never won a 70.3. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
He has
Yes.
won multiple Ironmans, but I know that this is a guy who wants to win a 70.3.
He wants
His coach
this
is from
race.
Pennsylvania. He's trained in that
He
territory
wants
quite a
this
bit.
race.
Yoder.
He's trained there before.
Yep.
He's
He
flown
ran-
back and forth overnight, so he could do one day training camp, flown back to where he lives, and then he's flown back for another day of training, and then flown back to where he lives.
He's got the mental
and
space
then he went to the
be doing
Delta
research.
Lounge. And then he
He's
went
got-
to the Delta Lounge. And then he went on a cruise in Pennsylvania, just intra-Pennsylvania cruise.
Yeah.
Delaware River.
Delaware
River Cruise.
Okay, hang on. Just to finish the point here quickly. I think Marquardt isn't quite a tier 1 only because he has not won a 70.3. He has to be in the tier 2 with a Dubrick, with a Hansen, because he's going to be in charge of the race. I don't see him in a tier 3. And there's a chance he does super well. There's a chance he's 5 to 10, but I could see him winning potentially.
Veto.
I think
Veto.
Marquardt is the reason why. I think Marquardt would be the reason why Sam Long, Trevor Foley, Matt Hansen,
Don't get on the
guys
podium,
who don't ride, who aren't going to be as close to Marquardt, he will be the reason they do not get on the podium or do not win. Because I rode with him in Mont Tremblant with Justin Rielli as well. I think Justin did some work there too, but Marquardt had no fear of just pushing as hard as he could. And the dude is so gritty. Like I caught him within the last mile of the run. And I thought like usually when you catch, you can drop him pretty quick. Dude just dug super deep. It went down to like a downhill.
That was a great
sprint
battle.
finish to
I watched
finally
that battle. That was a
break in.
great battle. Ben,
Yeah, it was.
be
that's where,
honest.
like,
Do
I
you
just-
think
then-
if you're on the rivet at one point during this bike and you guys hit some of these 10% pitches, Marquardt's not looking around for help, I'd imagine. He's going on the
He's
gas
going.
to drop people the
This-
entire bike. Do you stay with him? Like, I mean, if he's all in on the bike, would
Mhm.
you does he just ride you off your wheel? Because if he rides you off his wheel, Morgan's gone too, which means
Yeah,
you
and
guys
that's
are
where
now
it's
now
all.
it's
Dubrick's
danger
gone.
time.
Dubrick's gone for that
Dubrick's
matter.
way gone at that point. Yeah,
I think
nobody's with
Marquardt
him.
I think Marquardt is the ticket to potentially winning the race for a handful of guys who maybe don't have like.
But do you guys
I would love
kill
to hang
yourself
with
to stay
him.
with him?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the stories of him in Nice where after he cramped and then
Yeah.
going up some. those climbs
who's
like over
riding people
400
down?
watts. Yeah. So I think his bike will be super dangerous. And
Okay.
yeah, it's just a matter of, I mean, you got to play your cards.
Marquardt Tier 1.
This is
I think
this is I'm totally
the
beat
lack of the
up.
70.3 win
Guys,
chucks him out of
Blake,
Tier 1
hold
for sure.
on. Me and Blake need to
St. George last year 15th.
Yeah, me and Blake need to shock you guys to reality here.
This is
This
a
is a
70.3.
tier
We're talking
3,
North American
tier 3 at
70.3.
best. Marquardt is
Tier 3.
I don't know about his
Justin.
recent result. I know he's a different animal.
I don't love it.
Ironman
He's
is
a different animal.
7.3,
He's a
but
different
I
animal.
don't love
this
it.
year.
He's at least a tier 2.
he's a different animal this year.
Make
What do
a
you mean?
TikTok about it, guys. Come
He's
on.
a different
like,
animal.
Get out of here with this shit.
Okay, so we'll compromise.
What is his win streak right now in Ironmans? Like the dude has
Yeah,
been
I mean, he's got to be a Tier 2. He
absolutely
has to be Tier 2. Connor.
Let's come
South
together for
Africa over
Tier
Joe
2,
Skipper.
so we can move on.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
come together for
let's,
Tier 2.
let's Tier 2 the guy. I mean, we got to
Okay.
put a
We're gonna
little bit
get
of
roasted,
respect on the name. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what happens.
He needs some. He's like
Another
he's a major
name-
player in this race.
Another name that needs to be right next to Reale, because guess who ran almost dead even with Morgan Pearson? That is on this start list that you guys would not
Blake
think in
Longcroft
SF.
Harris.
Blake freaking Harris.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy ran
Yeah.
58 mid in SF. And I mean, that's wild.
Where did he finish?
I mean, way
13.
down the list. Okay.
Where did he
Yeah,
finish?
We know. I
13.
know.
Where did he
So-
finish?
So, all right, guys.
Evan, where did he finish?
He beat Justin. He beat Justin Reale. He ran
He
him
was
down
the
and beat
only
him.
one to ride within
Justin
his power.
Reale's collarbone is
at
still
this
like
race.
literally separated in
He's
half.
not even swinging an arm.
It's not healing in 6 days, okay? It's not like it's gonna be. It's not like Justin's swim is gonna be.
All right,
right
well,
where it
maybe
was
maybe
last
this.
year.
Okay, Justin's gonna preclude us from having this be a runners category. But I guess if we're talking about people who are gonna run through the field but not really matter in the final results at all, Chuck
Well, he just
Randall
runs
in there,
backwards, through
right?
it, but yeah.
Chuck
Okay.
Randall in Tier 3. Chuck, I
Cool.
mean,
Yeah.
I suppose.
You're gonna
What a
make
way to
Benny
go.
mad there. You're gonna make.
What
You
does
think
Benny
Ben
want?
should be a
I
tier
know, that's where
2?
he goes.
Benny is already angry, dude. Just check out
Benny-
his Instagram.
You don't have to
He's
give him any
already
more
angry.
fuel.
You gotta love that
I'm
energy,
fired up.
though. I know it's like these kids, man.
Fired
They
up. I
they
love
love to get pissed off about stuff.
Benny's gonna
Yeah.
beat Marquardt. That's like what's crazy to me. And you guys,
Okay.
Oh.
God. What?
Here's what I want to
I
happen.
coached the kid, and I'm rolling
Veto.
my eyes at you right now, Polly.
I want Benny
Marquardt might
to.
win this race.
no, he's not.
I'm dying for Benny to have a breakthrough because I know
He's
what
getting there.
he's put into this.
Yes.
And there's been a lot of physical investment, emotional investment. It feels like this race or his next race really have to be precipice events for him to say, all right, I'm not just a 108 guy who comes 14th. I can get into a top 5. Like, it's important for him to
bike
do it right
course-
now.
This bike course will favor him a bit more in the sense of obviously it has more climbing. His CDA over time will need to improve his ability to hold arrow, his ability to ride hard on flatter courses. This is a type
This
of
is
course
none of
where I
that.
think we're going to see him have a little bit better bike split compared to the field,
Evan,
and
when
he'll
does,
still run his 108.
If
when
you put
does
Benny Tier
CDA
3, you
not
need Nick
matter?
Holmes in
Because
Tier 3 at least.
we're riding 2 hours any course, any
Yep.
given
Yeah,
day.
100%.
Yeah, it's any course.
For
It's any course.
CDA
Yep.
always matters, no matter if it's a really hilly. I can't even really think of a course where it doesn't matter, except for the old Kitzbühel course
No, it
that
always
literally
does.
went up a mountain.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
unless we're gonna start getting into even like a
Road bikes,
Lanzarote,
yeah.
like that's a slow
CDA
course.
matters a lot out there,
CDA,
yeah,
it's
with how windy it is.
so-
All right, let's keep it rolling. So Nick Holmes, let's shout him out real quick.
Third
6th.
tier, absolutely.
Uh,
Nick's having a great year so far.
We slept on him. Yeah, he's having a great year.
He's having a great year.
You
Uh,
guys got to place Miguel Maddox too after just
Maddox
the whole
has to be
swim.
third tier at
Got to
least.
be at least.
This is
third
a
tier, I think.
swimmers. I mean, this if Ben
He's-
wants to
he's
argue this is
improved
going
a
to be a
lot.
swimmers race.
What did Maddox come in at Chattanooga? Did he come in like 7th or 8th?
9th or 10th. 9th or 10th. He had a runoff with Romano, I believe, towards the end of that race.
Yeah, I'll say, but if you go back to his Augusta race last year too, I know last year's maybe a bit far. We got to take some recent form stuff as well, but he has been like consistently around that mix. His run is improved. His bike is solid now.
Yeah,
he's a
he's
good
getting there.
swimmer.
Yeah.
Maybe not like great tier, but he's always in the mix right now.
12th
Alright.
at Gulf Coast, 9th in chat.
Do we
Mar-
rip? Is this an Andy Kruger tier as well?
I
They-
think it is too
The
because
Mets, you were pretty high on Kruger. Let's not forget, Mets had Kruger in his fantasy week 1.
Well, give
in a
Kruger
light
some
12-person field where my options are a bit limited.
This is a Pro Series race. Yeah, this is a stacked. I mean, this is.
Can I
the
chuck
North
one up that
American
I'm a
Championship.
little bit excited about? I'm excited about McGoey. Because
yeah.
McGoey had a very, very
Yeah.
solid race in St. Anthony's.
Oh, he's going to drop St. Anthony's here. Oh, God.
I know St. Anthony's doesn't matter, but we're talking about a guy, and I know it's just completely incomparable.
great
McGoey's trying to figure out what his lane is, right? Like he just got on the podium of the Super League. He had a really good race in St. Anthony's. These are shorter distance events. This is a guy who like can kind of be in the mix. I feel like he's going to be he's very, very solid swimmer. I think his bicycle, literally the bicycle itself, is going to hold him back on the course here because he's riding like an eBay, Craigslist
rim brake.
marketplace, rim brake P2 type thing. And this guy's like
great,
got a freaking
great model.
Rudy Project Gen 1 road arrow helmet type vibe, and he's still balling out. So I could see him. He's going to lose some time on the bike. I have a feeling, but I think he's going to swim and run really well. He's one to watch.
Talking with McGoey, he said he's going for broke and trying to push it.
He's a lunch pail
line?
triathlete. You got to cheer for him in Happy Valley.
If you want to go slow, go one more. If you want to go fast, go one less.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't beat that.
All right. Do we see anybody else in this tier 3? There are some names here.
Luke Jones needs to be in there. Why are we not talking about Luke Jones?
Why
in
do
this
I not
field?
know anything about Luke Jones?
You should. You
I
should
know.
know about Luke Jones.
Can someone educate me?
You
The
almost
reason
have
you
to
don't
put
know about
Jones
Luke
ahead
Jones
of
is because
McGoey.
Luke Jones is one of the smartest and quietest guys in North American triathlon. He doesn't talk a lot on social media. I know he's with Real Tri Squad now, which has some presence. He's a very quiet personality, but the guy comes from collegiate swimming. He is a very solid swimmer. He's a big body. He pushes good watts on the bike and has been nothing but slow progression since he's become a pro.
Big body. Evan likes that big body.
And now,
Evan's all about the watts.
and now is a guy who can run 111, 112.
Not to preempt your slot watch talk, but he's already world champ qualified at Santa Cruz last year with a 4th, 6th at Eagleman, which was kind of a meh field.
He did ball out at Santa Cruz last year. I'll say that. I was at that race, and Luke Jones rode right by me and ran well, super well.
And he dominated White Lake ahead of McGoey
in that Eagleman race.
He's going to be a guy that might make us look a little dumb for 3rd tier because I think Luke, race by race, continues to get better and better.
Evan, you know more about him, but was his first pro race Indian Wells 2024?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's quite new to the game too.
And then I got to meet him at Adesto Island where he went toe to toe with Ari. So, I mean, he's no joke. Luke Jones will continue to get better and better.
All right. Do we see anybody else in this tier 3? It's pretty crowded.
God, I want Andy Kruger in there. But
it's also difficult to overlook Sam Osborne because Sam Osborne is like a 4 through 8 lock. So he's going to beat a lot of the guys who are in this tier 3.
Going to be honest, I think Ben Randall needs to be dropped down to tier 4, and Andy Kruger and Sam Osborne off of results need to be
wild.
tier 3.
You're going
wild.
The coach
No, I'm being
is
serious.
wild.
I'm being serious.
I mean, you're just doubling down on his demon time right now. You're
Evan,
going to
if
get
I
this
was
boy freaking like he's going to have so much fire under his ass.
I like that approach.
I know how to motivate an athlete. This is.
I like that approach. Let's do it.
I think we
Well,
got
let's
it. We
be
got to
honest,
sort
this is
through this tier 3.
non-wetsuit.
That tier should
If this
be.
is a non-wetsuit swim, Ben will be very much on the back foot to start. And to say he's going to be able to bridge all the way up to an Andy Kruger, who I think will bike and run solid. Same with Sam Osborne. Sam Osborne will be the same. Is a stretch. Ben would have to really bike the house down and run a 107 to run into guys like that.
Sam's going to swim well though.
McGoey out of tier 3.
Yeah, Sam Osborne will swim very well.
What did you say,
Sam
Blake?
Osborne will swim with Jason
Drop
West. He'll
McGoey
swim with
and Luke Jones down.
24 group.
Yeah, that main Maddox for sure.
Okay, Blake.
No,
Blake
I
just
don't see
had
what
Maddox is.
Blake's throwing a change up here. He wants to have Luke Jones and McGoey drop down with Ben Randall in tier 4.
That's fair play. I think that's fair play.
No,
Those guys
no.
still need more evidence. Those guys have not gotten on a 70.3 podium. We're talking about Osborne.
That's
We're
fine.
talking about Riale. Like these
guys.
guys have all proven. We need proof.
Okay.
Luke Jones is beating
Proof
Justin
is in the
Riale
pudding.
on this race, though. That's
All right.
my opinion.
Let's keep it rolling here. We got Kruger, Romano, Matt Kerr, Kashmar Mwan, and Federico Scarabino, and then our favorite Hunter Lucy.
Mark is for sure tier 4 with those guys.
Yes.
Scarabino is also sneaky good. Scarabino like pretty much races in South America, but he is quite solid.
Yeah.
Like he'll go into all those Limas, Puerto Varas, and he's on the podium of every single one. So and those aren't like they're lighter fields. They don't have the depth, but there's always one good guy who wins the race.
He still goes
never
fast.
far off the winner.
I feel like he's
And he can translate to North America well.
Should he go up? Should he go up?
I would actually
Scarabino
think
could be a tier
but with
3 for
recent-
sure.
yeah,
He was 5th in Indian Wells.
yeah. I think Scarabino is
13th
tier 3.
Oceanside last year as well.
Yeah, he qualified
the
for
rest
World. So
were-
did Casimir Juan. Yeah, where do we see that guy? And then we could drop
Does anybody
Hunter.
have
But-
anything on him?
But Casimir's been getting beat by Scarabino. Like, he lost to him Punta del Este,
Mhm.
and then he
That's a
raced him
head-to-head.
a couple other times last year, and he's always behind Scarabino.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I think 5 for Casimir.
Okay,
Yes.
let's bring it home here. Do we? I think Matt Kerr pretty inconsistent, but the dude could go off. Like that's the thing. He'll have like one solid race a year. I think just out of respect, we got to throw him in tier 5. The thing I want to bring up: do we bring Tom Gordon in? He wasn't on the list, but out of respect, do we throw him in here?
We can maybe just give him an honorable mention just because he is going to feature in
We
the
talked about him
swim.
in the swim a
But
lot. Yeah,
I think
Matt Kerr, I feel like
and
is
I'm buying Tom Gordon stock big time, and this is more for a 2-year, 3-year project for Tom Gordon. He's got the swim, he's got the engine. He has a lot that he needs to sort of button up.
Is
I think
he-
just in terms of professionalism.
He's
this
still going to
season.
Home Depot and buying the supplies.
is he like 2-3 years away from a potential like Jeremy Macklin? Like is that who you would compare?
I don't
him
know if
to?
McLean. I mean, McLean's somebody who like is a nobody to
Insane
winning a
biker.
70.3, right? I
Insane
think
biker though. Yeah,
Tom is going to need that development on the bike in order to just
Okay, so
learn
he's not-
how to time trial, and I think that
he's
is
not
going to
that
be
natural ability on the bike though.
He's going to be one of those guys where you're like Maddox, where you like see him in a result, he's a top 10. Oh wow, he gets a top 8. Oh, now he's a top 6. You see his trajectory, maybe similar to
Okay.
me, where it's like, all right, you saw him getting a top 15. He's okay. Now he's on the podium or
Consistent.
winning a race, right? So I could see
Yeah.
Tom being consistent if he just gets his training right. So for this one, he'll feature you'll see him on the tracker. You'll be like, Tom Gordon, who's that? And then I think he's
Yeah.
going to fall off on the bike and run 120. I think would be really solid.
Yeah, I think Hunter Lucy tier 5 running his nuts out.
Nobody likes to blow up their race like Hunter Lucy. That dude just goes
I know, I love Hunter.
absolutely
I hate putting
diabolical.
Hunter in the-
I've raced
Kamikaze
guy
nude.
for
I hate
15
putting
years.
Hunter in the bottom
Me
because I
too,
love
dude.
how the dude races. Like he's one of
Yeah.
my
He just
favorite.
hates to be behind anybody. We'll just do a
Yeah.
700 watt attack.
Yeah,
I
Okay.
raced Hunter a lot.
the guy was made for non-draft Olympic. If he had been in that era, because he would just tear a 40K apart. Like
All right, we got. Where do we put Andy? That's the thing.
4.
Yeah, I'm with
I
you on
would say
4.
tier 3, but that's I'm gonna get outvoted on that. But
Yeah, I
I
think
know
that's
that's-
a non-starter.
I think that's good.
All right,
good.
so
You
there
do
we
it on
go.
the women's.
Pretty settled. Aquabear, Tail of Two Folies, not just a 108 guy who comes in 14th on your left and sourcing supplies at Home Depot.
I like how you
that-
named that third tier after Ben, and then Evan comes in.
And then we moved him down. I know we moved him.
That's why they need to watch this show.
Who's just gonna keep
So,
it?
oh no, he will. He will. I'll get a message. I'm sure.
Oh, man. All right, let's roll into the
Immediately
women's
within
real.
10 minutes of it being posted.
Let's throw to our sponsor before we jump into the women's.
This episode is brought to you by Texas Grassland Beef, a family-owned and operated ranch delivering high-quality, 100% grass-fed and grass-finished beef straight to your door. Their cattle are raised the right way. No hormones, no antibiotics, and a focus on real nutrition to support both performance and everyday health. Whether you're training for your next race or simply want better food for your family, they ship premium bulk beef nationwide. It's convenient, clean, and sourced directly from the ranch. Head to txgrasslandbeef.com. That's txgrasslandbeef.com to learn more and upgrade the way you fuel.
Okay, good. What are we doing for Slot Watch, Bali?
I'm collabing with Pro Tri News. I'm shortlisting, and Kyle's gonna give me feedback. I think we're good.
Okay.
It's gonna be like 10 women.
I didn't know if that was like a segment to the
topic,
show.
like-
Do we know that all
Oh,
these
no,
women here are on the start list?
Yeah,
Blake,
I
did we do a
removed-
double check on
I
that?
took
Lydia
out
Ward.
Strelo and everyone
Strelo's
else. It was Strelo and Annie Fuller who wasn't on the list, so we're good.
Okay, so just
Yeah.
Strelo. Strelo's out. Okay,
I put in
gotcha.
Rebecca in. Okay, so we're good. All right, let's jump into the women's real quick, guys. We got 12 women to rank here. Let's kick it off. Who do we got for tier 1?
This is going to be, I mean, okay, so a post from Lydia recently, not to bring in social media into this. Lydia
Please.
posted, I think it was like a couple weeks ago, that she just had her quote unquote like best run workout as a pro triathlete.
I thought you were going to give us like some guy, like something about
That-
injury or
dude, I don't
something
know.
like that. Get
She's a
out of
pretty
here.
dang good. She's a pretty dang good runner, man. If she's already running
Here.
better than she was
She
last
deserves-
year,
He deserves respect because she won the race and because
Yeah.
she is a great athlete. But to post, I mean, I could go out and have my best
Oh,
run
I'm going,
workout
yeah.
tomorrow. That doesn't mean diddly.
I was gonna back it up with,
How
yeah,
is
she's
your-
won the race too, obviously.
I know,
but
but you let it
Let's be
just
the
sit out
beginning.
there.
we're talking current form, okay? Current form here. She's fit is basically what
She
she's
didn't just
saying.
win the race.
What's
She
your
beat
execution
Genie
like
and
this year?
Sidaro. Like, she took two
Yeah.
big scalps there.
That
Yeah.
was a huge race.
I mean, that was a pretty
a
quality
big
field.
breakthrough day. I mean, she beat a Kona world champion. That says tier 1, the end. I mean, that's and I'm just saying I think we're going to see a better
And a
an
very
even better
fast vice
version
world
of her.
champion.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yes.
Gotta
There you
mention
go.
it.
Come on, Evan.
Exactly.
Yo,
yes.
man.
That was an elite podium. Let's just say
Well, Matt,
that was a
you
great.
probably
podium.
have some more
And
insight
only
into
third
that race
70.3
than
too,
more of
like
us.
relatively new at 70.3 in that area to go out and take the win on this course, like against that quality field. That's the sort of stuff that I like to see.
And
Here's
that
what
we
Jeannie
should
said
see.
about Lydia's race last year is that
Yeah.
her bike power was insane. She said going up the hills, Chelsea and Jeannie were on the rivet. And Jeannie's a power to weight athlete, right? Like she's going to
Yeah.
go up a hill pretty much quicker than anyone else. There was separation on the end of the bike. I think just a couple seconds because of that wet. And at the time, I think Lydia was descending like fearlessly. You know, she's like 20 years old, doesn't know to be scared, right? And I think Chelsea and Jeannie are like, you know,
Gotta go home. Yeah.
you know, aunties out there who are trying to like, take it a little
Is
bit
her
easier.
debut for the year?
Chelsea's got kids to go home to. She's like that corner's not
Yeah,
worth
and
it.
Jeannie was just not
Yeah.
having it. So she was impressed with Lydia's, and they pretty much all three of them came off the bike together, and then it just ended up being a running race. And yeah, I mean, for somebody like that, I think was that her first 70.3 or second 70.3 last year?
She had two really good. She was 10th in Oceanside on debut, and then 6th in St. George, and then
Yeah,
went
so
on
she
to
was
win.
tracking.
moving up.
So
Yeah,
she was
she's
tracking
first.
towards that.
That's
But also, you have to talk
trajectory
about
up now.
the really rough fall and winter she's had with injury, broken collarbone after Happy
Yep.
Valley.
Where was
Yeah.
that?
What do you mean?
Yeah,
What?
that's
No,
what I
I
was going to
don't know
ask. Is
about
this
this.
her
Yeah.
first race back?
Yeah, this will be her first race back
Yeah.
from
That is
a
tough.
double
She still
DNF.
deserves that tier 1.
She
but
does.
That's tough.
But she went
All
to
right.
Portugal, sickness, DNF pulled out, and then Marbella pulled out because she wasn't comfortable on the bike in the wind. And
Oh,
everything. And it was
guys.
yeah.
Guys, I don't know. This could
Sometimes
be a
you see
tier-
these athletes over time who like ignorance is bliss when you pop up to a 70.3. You're like, I don't know what this is. I'm just really good at it. And then next thing you know, you have one setback, you have another, you start overthinking it. Maybe you start overcomplicating the training a little bit too, right? Like some of these athletes who are super young coming from college, like you don't need to reinvent the wheel with all this crazy training. And now you're trying to apply like all this elite level stuff to them. And it's like, it ends up being maladaptive to a degree. So this, I think, again, for some of these athletes, it's a turning point. Like, is she going to be able to get back on track and start hitting it and be one of the, be able to extract the highest level of her potential? Or is it like
she
she's gonna
clearly
fall into
likes this
spiral,
course too?
Guys,
I'm sure.
here's
She
here's
clearly
the
likes
thing.
this course. though.
Here's the thing: we damned if we don't, we damned if we do. Put her in the top one.
Respect.
She's
got
got
to
She's
go
defending
every
champ.
tier one.
Defending
Okay.
champion.
I'm just
over
this is a
two
one
world
heavy
champ
tier
podium
1 race.
rows.
As we start
Well-
to get into this, there are going to be a lot of women in this tier
we
1. I
we
think.
have the series leader on the start line here. Hannah Berry is coming to
No,
get
not
her
anymore.
first.
I
Not anymore. Dropped.
updated.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
Solveig,
third now.
duh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Closer. You're right. Like just until
yeah.
recently. Yeah. Just
Was
until
leading
Hamburg
until
was
yesterday.
Leading. Was
Yeah.
leading.
She's trying to get her first 70.3 score too. So who else do we see? Grace with the BTB. So what do we
Both
see here, guys?
Graces.
Yeah.
Put Grace
I
up
mean-
there. Let's talk about Alexander first. She needs.
Yeah.
We need a. She's the
Yes.
the hottest athlete, arguably right now. in
only
North
one to do the
America,
double.
for sure.
Correctly.
100%. And I really like what I'm seeing from Grace right now. I just feel like she's in form. She's in a good headspace. She's got confidence. She's got wind behind her sails. Like this is somebody who I think could go for the triple in a row. Like I know there's absolutely phenomenal athletes on this start list, but we're talking about somebody who's a really, really strong biker. And it seems like her run is leveled up. So if we're talking about a bike heavy course, I could see Grace winning the thing.
Yeah.
This is
I
a
think, yeah.
top heavy race. You're right. When you
Yeah.
look at it, because Hannah Berry needs to be T1 or tier 1 here for sure. I mean, we're talking like this is also look at her T100 result. She raced a lot last year. You look at a lot of those T100 results last year. She was very
So,
consistent. She
Hannah-
didn't race a lot
Hannah
of
for-
73s.
Hannah for
but
middle distance, won Taranga, second in Geelong, which was Pro Series,
Geelong,
fourth T100 Singapore, goes ninth London, sixth France, sixth Spain, and then of course fourth in Kona for her
Solid.
middle season and all those T100 races. Like,
and also, if you're
what a
racing
year.
well in
Results
T100,
right
you know she can handle any conditions. I think if you race well in T100, it shows like thunderstorms aside, incredible humidity aside, she's gonna be there, game ready for sure.
Yeah, like that sixth in the France course is pretty technical, hilly.
Yeah, she
different
can race
to
any
Happy
course.
Valley, but yeah.
All right, who else we got up here in this top tier?
I mean, we're gonna have
Let's
to
talk about
break it up
Paula.
'cause-
Let's
Yeah,
talk about Paula.
Rip it off.
We got to put her in the tier 1, but I want to see something from Paula here. I just want to see
See Moxie.
some chias. Yeah, that's like what Jeannie says in
Yeah.
Afrikaans.
There you
It's
go.
like, I
Bowie
want to
dropping
see
Moxie on this.
yeah, it's a bit of moxie. It's like, I just don't know. I mean, it's a really difficult position, and maybe Ben can talk about this a little bit more. When you achieve such high level results, like, it's the only thing that satiates your appetite is victory. And so for her to go to a Chattanooga and come a second or whatever, like, it's just not fun anymore. And it's a really difficult position to be in an athlete where it's like all you can do to appease yourself is win. And that's a lot
I'm
of
going to
pressure.
disagree a little bit. She
Yeah.
did make that post where she said she heavily weights results. That is a very hard thing to do, and to put results so heavy in your self-worth as well, to have the success she's had, is super impressive. Because I think what you find is when you're successful and you focus on the process and having fun and execution, the results follow. So I think Paula probably learned a lot. And when you're having a really bad day and you feel terrible throughout the race, you're racing for 4 hours basically, and you just feel terrible in the Chattanooga heat. I can understand how it wouldn't be fun. And you know what? Like, I think she does enjoy the day to day. I think she really enjoys pushing herself and the sport in general. But now it's just going to be, okay, can I take a step back? I know it's not going to be just like Chattanooga, and just get back to her process and just get into the race. That's where she's super dangerous.
She needs to let her hair down.
I'm gonna back Paula here again too. That's if this had been chat, if we hadn't seen the chat performance, I would actually agree and say, like, I'm not sure if she's top tier right now. But that result, whatever was going on mentally for her, I think we can all empathize with that. And that was tough. But really, when you look at the stats on that race, she just lost in the swim. That was it. And it was a weird swim day. It really was a weird swim.
You can't ever not put Paula in the top tier.
Because she still biked. She still biked
career.
and ran dead even with Grace.
Yeah.
She outbiked her by little, and then I think she ran just barely slower than
Do
Grace.
we think that
it was
Grace
just in the
is
swim she lost it?
Do we think Grace is in Paula's head a little bit? Because I think maybe Blake
I
can
think
pull up
so.
some results
I
here,
think
because
so.
this is somebody who Paula has almost never lost to.
Yeah.
And now
It's
this
like a
is
little
somebody who's
sister
won
syndrome.
2 in a row. You're sitting there and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
okay, like, I must be regressing. I think as an athlete, you're not thinking, oh, this person's just improved a ton.
Instead of thinking
know?
that Grace is just getting better. That's the thing is I hope Paula's able to see that in her head, that it's like, Paula, you're not regressing. You're still a top tier athlete, favorite on any start list you jump onto, almost worldwide. Paula Findlay is that class. But it's just like this little sister thing where, like, Grace Alexander was never really that competitive with her until recently.
Yep.
And, you know, going through last year, and all of a sudden you're seeing Grace Alexander now become a true win threat in any race she gets on. So Paula might just be going through that where now it's like she's got to recalibrate how she thinks of a Grace Alexander.
Here's the
on a
last
start
thing I'll
list.
say about it. What happens in this race if Grace again has a similar swim advantage coming out of the water? Paula's on the bike. She's not making up time. She's getting a split. You might be able to recalibrate from Chattanooga and say, I'm going in. I'm going to focus on the process. I'm going to ride my watts. I'm not going to let the externals or the results drive me. But I know for a fact, I've thought similarly, I'm just going to focus on myself. When you get in the race and you're not making up time on the front and your goal is to win the race, that is very difficult to not just fall back into your baseline state, you know?
And let's be honest, for both of them, okay, so they both ran a 126 in chat. Okay, that's not that long ago. That's where their run form is. Guess what? A 126 isn't even going to be close to winning in Pappy Valley.
You're talking about,
I know, but I'm saying,
I mean, that's not their true run for. I'm saying, okay, I think we can play those games of how is your
Jackie ran 3 minutes into
champions. Like, Paula knows, like, you pay attention to the gap up front, but she even spoke about it. Even though she was feeling terrible, she still felt like she could win the race in Chattanooga. That's why she kept going. And then she's like, oh, well, I'm basically this far. Like, I just got to finish this up. I got to make it to the finish line. Like, I'm not going to drop out when I'm in second place. Like, all that sort of stuff. You play mind games the entire race to go. And you know what? If on the end of the day, if it's, you know, sitting at a minute and they're, you know, going down the road and up a climb and it's staying the same, and Paula's pushing best ever watts, she's going to go, I'm having a great race right now, just keep this up, and not expect Grace to just, she might expect her to blow up or something. It's the mind games you play, and Paula has been in that situation so many times. I think the swim that we saw in Chattanooga was anomalous. Not taking anything away from such a great swim from Grace, but that's very unlike Paula to not swim up there. So I think at this race, we're probably going to see a lot more. And then it's just going to be shaken out. Okay, who's having a really good day today? Who isn't? And then playing those
I don't
games
know, Ben. That Paula's last couple swims have not been what we have.
All right. No. We're not going back to the swim.
Going back to the swim.
Put my foot down. Put my foot down. All right, someone throw out a name.
Do you
Someone
want
throw
the
out
tail
a
of the tape on those? All right, Grace Stack.
Yeah.
for the top tier. That's I want to close out the top tier.
How many do we have any European or North American victories from Grace Stack?
She's small too. I don't think it's a course for her. Blake, what do we got on Grace?
I wanted to see Grace versus Hannah Berry. And Hannah Berry has a 6-2 lead over Grace in head-to-head 70.3 wins. And 8-6 overall.
I am not.
Can we agree that Oceanside is a comparable bike? Is Oceanside a fair? I can get vetoed on that, but I want to say if you're looking at Grace, she can run a how? Oh yeah, she can run. But guys,
she could run a 118 here for sure.
Grace was 4th in Oceanside, so she beat Jackie in Oceanside. They were very close together, very close. They literally finished within 20 seconds of each other. But Grace biked pretty similarly to Jackie. Jackie just lost a few minutes to Paula and Grace Alexander in chat. So if Grace Theck's bike ability is closer to where Jackie's is right now, I think Jackie and Grace Theck are the two that are going to be very comparable athletes in this race. So the class comes down to, do we put Grace and Jackie above
nope.
Grace Alexander and Paula right now?
Jackie's got to be a tier 1. that needs to happen because Jackie is getting on this podium 100%. Because you gotta understand. You got to understand, podium. We're talking about Lydia, Grace, Hannah, Paula. 1 or 2 of them are going to have something out of their control happen. 1 of them or 2 of them are going to falter. Chaos. Jackie is the most consistent athlete I in the world. This chick just all the time is getting a top 5 every single race. 70.3 Ironman. Doesn't matter if it's hot, cold, hilly, flat. She's going to be in the mix no matter what. I think it's going to be very difficult for Jackie to win this race, but I don't think Jackie cares about winning this race. She cares about coming 3rd, getting on a podium, getting her sponsor bonuses, getting points for the Pro Series. She's a business person. She's going to go out there and she's going to be consistent all day of the week.
This is such a guys. There's so many people in tier 1.
Chaos.
We need to split.
I know
some people have got to drop down.
I think. Oh, what do we do?
Do you drop down to Lydia Russell?
Well, you know what?
I think might go down.
I
don't like saying that.
Bib one who won this race last year on a stacked podium.
You need to see something though.
Show some respect.
It's also my alma mater. Lydia doesn't get dropped.
DNF and an injury. She had a DNF and an injury, guys. That's what I mean.
Guys, and also, we said this before. This is a heavy tier 1. Like, you take a look at this. We got a few people who are top 5 in Oceanside. Like, Grace Theck was also 2nd running down Kat Matthews in Geelong. Like, all of these women have a chance at winning this race, given the right race conditions.
Here's what I think. I disagree with you, Ben. This is the last thing I'll say on our tier 1. If we're trying to even out a bit of our power rankings here, I think there's only 3 of these 6 who can actually win the race. So we're talking about potential winners for the race: Lydia, Grace, and Paula. I don't see Hannah Berry winning. I don't see Jackie winning. I don't see Grace Theck winning. I think all 3 of those could be placed into tier 2.
That's it. Let's do it then.
That's
I could see all of them coming second, but I do not see them winning the race.
My God.
Let's just do. Hey,
the victory is going to come.
That tier 2 is just they.
Hannah Berry's the wild one for me. That we would put Hannah Berry in 2nd tier of this field.
I think Hannah Berry's similar to Jackie in the sense that their biggest strength is their consistency. They can go to races and they can just be freaking awesome every single time. Paula has this ability to be exceptional world championship podium potential. Lydia won the race last year. Grace is on a hot streak.
You got to put Jude in that tier 2 then too, I think.
I agree.
I mean, the tier 2 is going to be heavy now too.
No.
Me and Blake are just cringing in our seat.
Here's the only reason. Jewett, okay, we're very big Jewett fans on this show. We are, but if we're gonna now put the just recently removed leader of the Pro Series, Jackie Herring, Miss Consistency, and Grace Theck, who is borderline knocking on the door to win big races, we can't put Jewett then on that same level as her just right now until we see that big stage result from her.
Is it a Jewett Lumpkus Lewis tier?
She started off the year pretty darn hot.
She did. She did.
When's the last time she raced? Has she just been putting in the training block, Evan?
She's probably got a big training block under her.
Let me pull
Which
up
means
Geelong.
tier 1 for Tamara. Okay, this is.
I will say this,
guys.
her
Dude,
run
she was 9 minutes back in Geelong to Grace.
And there you go.
And Kat.
That was after Ironman New Zealand.
That's the stat.
No, that was after Ironman New Zealand, though. She's not coming off in
stat. All right. Danielle Lewis, Real Lumpkus, do they fit into tier 3 here? Where do we see these girls?
Lewis is. Oof.
I mean, Danny Lewis
Tamara
is always
really,
a hard one to figure out exactly where she's going to go because it's like she
goes with Tamara.
Get on podiums. You know what I mean? Like she has that ability, but it's like her race volume almost detracts from her ability to just be more consistent. Like if she didn't race 10 times a year, she only raced 6, I feel like she could be on the podium of all 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She already raced 4 times with 2 fulls.
That is exactly my point. And so it's like, does the fatigue just catch up to her? But she can pop off if the race dynamic plays into her favor. That's the thing. Is
tier 3 title should
tier
be
3
make
are
us
just
look
Kiwis that have already done a full season, you know?
Yeah.
Like American
Southern
Kiwis.
Hemisphere.
Yeah.
I do want to give you guys a fun little stat here, because we were just to support myself with Jewett a little bit. She's got a 50-50 win rate with Jackie Herring over the years.
I bet you a ton of that is like Collins
stat.
Cup, though, bullshit. I bet you there's like 6 Collins Cups.
And here's the one thing I'll say about that stat. I feel like Tamara is somebody who had a very, very hot streak almost when Jackie was on a cooler period. Now, Jackie, in my opinion, the last 2 years is really in great form. Like, Jackie's on every
Jackie, in
podium
her own words, was raising small humans, as she put it. So now she's back to old Jackie. So that's a fair point.
Even in the last 2 years, though, last 2 years, it's still
Jackie's better than ever
50-50.
right now.
It's still 50-50 over the last 2, though.
Over the last 2
that's more
years.
important.
Like, I will say Jackie has the most recent in 2025 at Indian Wells. Tamara
with the golf cart thing, too.
That race. Hawaii.
Jackie's bike was in pieces.
But Tamara does have Santa Cruz 70.3. She won the race. And then Jackie was second. And then Lake Placid, she has a 4th over Jackie's 8th.
Yeah, but that was an inhuman day for
guys.
Tamara.
We're also referencing Santa Cruz a little bit too much on this podcast. Let's be honest. That was I mean,
we just
love that race,
gossip.
but that's like late season North American 70.3 non-pro. Like in big
you can't
races,
count September results.
You I don't know, man. A 9th
Jackie.
at Santa Cruz, that's a big result.
I mean, I was top 20 there, so you know that's.
All right. Everyone, shut up for a minute. We have 4.
Shut up about Santa Cruz. Yes.
We have 4 women.
Jackie's at an 80% win rate to Danielle Lewis.
Well, that checks out.
Yeah,
no, I know, but
I mean, I think we have a tier.
I think right now these tiers are working. So there's a ton of tension here on these tiers, but so far I do think this is falling where they should go.
I just told everyone to shut up. Gabby Lumpkus, Rebecca Younger, Adele Lincoln, and Carolyn Kaplan. Let's
I think
rank
Adele. We can definitely put Adele into a tier 3.
Yeah.
Adele's bike is phenomenal. She is super strong. I think she could potentially have one of the quicker bike splits. She's going to be all alone, like because she's going to swim with some of the slower swimmers, and then she's going to get on the bike and just dust them all straight away. The run, I think she's still trying to piece it together. I mean, we're seeing good stuff from her. I still think she's a little bit off a podium at a big North American championship like this, but I think a bike heavy course, tier 3 for sure.
Man, I'm going to really annoy all of us here to make this go a little longer. I think Adele should be 2nd tier. And going off of
look at the
going
pedigree.
off of
no.
Going off
3
of
Uggs, so just move on.
Races.
Yeah, no.
Recent
Evan, this is,
races right here.
That's vetoed.
She biked almost Chattanooga. She had a hell of a day and was 4th, guys. That is she. She
but who is 5th?
Do it for the clip. This is
Megan
for
Foley.
clip.
Megan
She
Foley.
does do it, so just get it out so we can clip
guys,
it.
She was 90 seconds off Jackie Herring, which was the swim. She lost that time in the swim. She biked basically even with Jackie, and then ran only 30 seconds slower than her.
So you're making a strong tier 3 pitch.
So,
but did you say that was just the swim? Because in Dallas, she was She was 8 minutes behind Jackie.
Okay.
Like,
All right. Gabrielle Lumpkus was in the top 10, obviously early in the season. She's on the up and up. Where do we see her?
4.
Do we just throw them all down at 4? Carolyn Kaplan.
These are all 4.
I mean, what's
I think they're
wild
4
is that
because if we've got
sure.
if we got
Is
Tamara
that
Jewett in the
Jewett has
third tier, we can't put
podiums
any of
this
these
year.
names with Tamara. Yeah.
All right.
they're
It's
still
just
in
because
there.
of the
Danny
class.
Lewis, like,
It's just because of the class of tier 3 now with having
Yeah.
Danny Lewis and Tamara.
Yeah,
in there.
I mean, we're talking about Danny Lewis, who has been a top 10 Pro Series athlete
Yeah.
and won 70.3s and won Ironmans. Tamara,
Like,
pretty
these
much
three
the
are,
exact
like-
same
Tamara,
discussion.
we just don't
Literally-
have a great. But we would have to rate Tamara against Beck or somebody else because she did all Oceania to start the year. She did that one New Zealand half into Ironman New Zealand into Geelong.
And
So
Tauranga,
she had a
yeah.
big stretch there and then hasn't really raced North America just yet.
She's coming back in for a small off season. She'll be ready.
What do we got for tier name here? I'm drawing a blank here.
I mean, they're just victims of circumstance. Like, they can't move up.
Bottom of a
It's
stacked
just-
field. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Uh,
victims
un-
of circumstance.
Unintentional victim.
I'll throw
Yeah,
a
like,
big
I mean,
word
they're
in there
all so
besides that.
solid top 10s in North America, type girls, but
Yeah,
Yep.
it feels
You just
like
look
I
at
mean
that
we could have
third
had
tier.
like we saw the first half like it was a very
men and
top
women's.
heavy
This
field.
is a great field.
This is what you
like
want
Happy
in a
Valley
North
is
American field.
yeah.
This is we spent
The
the,
tides
longest
are
we have
rising.
over a North American 70.3 championship, like outside of a world championship. I think this is like the longest we're gonna spend on a field, maybe Lake Placid.
the
Yeah.
best stat
this
of
is
this
what-
race, the best stat for this women's race is that all these girls have slots except for Hannah Berry. So that means 2 more slots if Hannah has a race that she should
So
have.
one of those
2 of
slots
these
is
slots are
dropping
going
way
down. Yeah.
Who's
past
doing the
these-
math? Who's doing the math? Who's gonna creep in there and snag a spot?
I already
That's-
started.
that's outside
I
of
already,
your-
People on course are yelling.
Dude,
at,
I
like,
already
like,
started-
if the slots are still available.
I started DMing mid-pack pros. I'm like, Matt
Yeah.
Hansen didn't take it, so keep that in mind. I'm like,
we have a
Morgan already
Jenna
said he's gonna
Campbell in
take
here that
it,
we
so
didn't
keep-
talk about. Like, she's up for
Yeah.
it. You
All
have
right.
like a Marchant,
Yep.
Young
Margarita
Young
Ryan
Ginger.
is racing here too, right?
Margarita's
If Luke Jones is racing, Margarita Ryan should be racing.
I didn't
I
see him
think.
start
I could be
list.
wrong
see
on
her
that.
on
Well, the
Um,
race
all
is
right.
in the race. It doesn't get any better.
Yeah.
Mid-season North
Yeah.
American 70.3 Happy
It's
Valley
like,
North
it's like the Tour de France now. Like, we're
I-
getting
Oh, it's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
mini
I
little
will be on
races.
course. Doing that. So there we go. Chaos. What is happening? How are you tier 2? Possible pop-off and unintentional victim. There we go. That is the power rankings for 70.3 Happy Valley. I think everyone just needs to take a deep breath real quick. That was a whirlwind of an episode.
That was intense.
A lot of emotion.
Bali
lot of
started this one
emotion.
out with like, man, this is like mid-season. We'll pop through this one pretty quick, and then we're all just screaming at each other
No.
about swim temps.
This is
and-
the meat of
and
the season.
Tier
I-
2 to 3.
I texted Kyle Glass and I said, "This is getting out of hands here. We're 25 minutes in and we've ranked 5 athletes. So
We haven't even yelled at each other about Sam Long
Yeah.
yet. We're 25 minutes
Yeah.
in.
we're
Bust
going
out
to
your
punt.
white. This is a whiteout game. This is gonna
We're
be so
punting the
good.
fantasy.
Yes.
I'm kind of we're not going to talk about the elephant in the room again, and I think it's because we don't have time. We're over an hour. People got things to do, but there was a little bit of a lack of communication. Apparently, a few people missed getting their picks in. So I want to talk
That was
about
me.
real quick. What is the punishment to that? Is it 0 or is
Minus.
it -1?
A minus. It can't be a minus. It needs to be a goose egg. A minus is insane.
I think it should be a -1
What?
because
I think it's minus
yes,
one.
Not.
because it
Bali
is
just
fair.
doesn't want to do a hot
Constantly
dog
messy.
mile. This is not
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah,
Blake
-1.
runs the fantasy game,
I did drop
needed
the
a
ball in
reminder.
Hamburg.
and
yeah.
so I mean, that you
You
can't
missed
really
it
blame
too,
the
Matt?
players. You gotta.
So Blake
Everybody
gets
missed it, but
minuses.
you, Bali.
No,
everyone
I
missed
sent it. Did I not send in?
I
Ben,
don't.
you did not
No.
say that. If you're
No.
saying you
No.
said that so
It's
confidently.
a
you did not
-1.
say
I'm
that.
going to stick to my guns. It's a
To be fair-
-1 penalizer.
All right, yeah.
Blake
gonna
and Bali
bring us all.
produced
Probably
the
gonna
show.
lose
You
anyways,
guys got to
'cause you know
send
who
it
I'm-
through before the race start.
my answer was I would have picked Solveig, which is such
me
BS.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's just
all right.
no.
all right.
You're right, Bali. It's
No
all
shame,
negatives.
no shame.
It's all negatives.
So this is what we're gonna
Yeah.
do because if you do put it in and get it wrong, you get a 0. So it has to be a -1. Like,
Yeah.
you got to get it in.
yeah.
And I'm trying to climb out of the holes from week 1 with the 6 picks here. So it's gonna be a -1 there. Anyways, guys, is there anything else before we sign off? Hopefully not.
Are we going to pick our fantasy right now?
Oh yeah. Let's just do that.
Let's roll through it and everybody pick your podium right here. You got text.
It's
Blake
not a
right
podium. You get
after.
one. You get
Oh,
one
it's
and
just
one.
one pick.
Or my bad. My
Evan.
bad. The one.
Nick.
The one win. Yep.
Well, yeah, but then you could just ride off of whoever like
Yeah.
you're battling with.
No,
so
you
I
gotta-
think you
it's
do have
gotta
to
be
text
secret.
it.
Here's the thing. I think if Morgan's
secret.
if Morgan wakes up cranky, he's not gonna have a good race. He's gonna pack it in.
He always wakes
so
up
You can't wait
cranky.
you can't wait and message somebody, is Morgan cranky, the morning of the race to wait for your pick. That is not fair. Okay.
All right,
That is not fair.
Here we go. Sam Long, and then going down to the women's real quick. Sam Long, and let's roll with it. Grace Alexander.
Okay. Mets.
Pass. Come back to me.
Anyone?
No,
What?
no, no. It should go
No.
leader order goes first too. Mets should have to
Who's
pick
winning?
So
first.
fast. This is all.
Oh, well, I guess- okay, fine.
We're an hour 15 into this shit. Like,
All
let's
right.
go.
All right.
Shotgun
I'm
it.
going
Just
Paula
go.
for the women. I am going T Foley for the men.
Interesting. You didn't let on to that at all.
Then I think Evan,
next?
you go.
Matthew
Just go.
Marquardt for the win on the men's.
Diabolical pick.
Matthew
That is
Marquardt.
Fantastic.
Matthew Marquardt will win. And
Congrats on your goose egg, by the way.
Grace Theck for the women's win.
Terrible.
God. I'm grabbing all those points, boys. I'm grabbing
all right,
every
Ben, you go.
single
I thought I went for an
I'm not
abstract
sharing.
pick.
I'm not
This is a
sharing a
valid-
single point this week.
Yeah,
I'm not sharing
This
a
is a
single
valid.
point.
This is a valid strategy because if he is right, we're all
Yeah.
screwed, and if he's wrong, then he gets to do the hot dog mile, and we're adding milk into the hot dog mile.
You will not add milk into that hot dog mile.
No
right.
water, just milk and hot dog.
God, dipping it in milk. In July.
Ben,
Milk,
go.
Ben.
bad choice. But me, I'm picking myself. You got to back yourself.
Yeah.
Ben, can you back
I love
yourself?
it.
to the win?
Shocker.
And yeah, you guys, you wonder why I'm down on the rankings. It's because of back
Yeah.
myself. One of
You gotta
these
stop
times,
raging
one of
Pro
these
Series.
guys, you're gonna come in and you're gonna praise me for the pick for having insider knowledge, and then
If
I'll
you
go Grace
win,
Alexander.
that's 10 points.
Alexander.
That'd be awesome.
He said Grace. All right, Blake, you go.
I gotta go Morgan, and then Lydia.
All right.
I was
That's
so
quality.
close to saying
That's
Lydia too,
quality.
Blake.
All right, guys, that's it for our preview for 70.3 Happy Valley. The power rankings, always a crowd favorite. Thanks to Ben Knut, Justin Metzler, Evan Price, and Blake Pfeiffer for joining the panel. Shout out to the interns, to John and Tom. And if you're enjoying the show, make sure to like, subscribe, follow on all season as we cover the 2026 Ironman Pro Series. I'm Connor Bollinger, and we'll see you on race day.